You finally declutter your space and it feels amazing, but a few weeks or months go by and it suddenly starts to feel cluttered all over again. Let's figure out why that keeps happening. I have searched the internet and come up with the top reasons why the clutter keeps coming back and how to fix it. First on the list is probably the one no one really wants to talk about, which is we are not dealing with the source of the clutter, and that is too much shopping and or too many things coming in. This could be free things from your friends and family, but just bringing too much stuff into our homes too quickly. And there's a really good fix for this, and it could be a trial situation. It's just going on a no-buy week or month and really track how you're feeling. Focus on spending your time on other things that are not shopping. And another thing you could do is the 24-hour wait list. This could be a week wait list. Essentially, you have something pop in your head that you think of buying. Instead of rushing out and getting it or going online and getting it, just jot it down on a list, wait 24 hours or a week, however much time that you think is good, and then see if you still want that item. Because I know I have also fallen for that feeling of seeing something and jumping on it immediately, then regretting it later and realizing that I didn't really need it. You declutter, but you didn't organize. So this could be a problem because you may have the right amount of stuff in your home, but if it's unorganized and messy looking, it can still feel cluttered in your home. So a quick fix for that is to go section by section, room by room, and just think about the way things could be organized a little bit better. And it doesn't mean you have to rush out and buy a whole bunch of bins or organizational things. It could just be as simple as grouping like items together, looking at opportunities of items you already have, organizers you already have that could be utilized in a better way. But honestly, just organizing all the stuff you do want to keep and making sure that everything has a home and a place to go can really help with the feel of clutter in your home. Next top tip I found is you might only be tidying and not truly decluttering. So a lot of the time we will pull things out of a closet, look through them, maybe just get rid of one or two items and then clean it all up and put it back. It's just not being ruthless enough. One fix for this is to ask yourself some questions when you are trying to declutter, like, when's the last time I used this item? Would I purchase this item again? Is there something else I can use instead of this item? Is it a duplicate item? There's so many questions that you could ask yourself that can help with the decision-making process and help you to get a little bit more ruthless. Next on the list is you might be the type of person who does better decluttering with someone. So if you're decluttering alone, you're feeling completely overwhelmed and it's just too hard to make these decisions, you need somebody to bounce ideas off of. A fix could be finding a friend or family member that's really good at decluttering, or finding videos. I have a ton on my channel where you can run that video or watch it before you declutter, get some tips and tricks, get some motivation, and then dive into decluttering. I love decluttering with my mom. I think it's so fun, and I do think it helps us to get rid of more. Even when my mom comes over here, it can be motivational if I'm not really feeling like I'm in the mood, but I do need to deal with an area of my home. Having somebody with me can actually help quite a lot. The next top tip is you might not be decluttering often enough. I have gone through seasons where I declutter all the time, I stay on top of it, and then I get a little burned out and I end up letting it go for too long, then realize, hey, you know what? The clutter is building up again. I need to dive back in. So a fix for this could be marking down on your calendar every 3 months or every 6 months, just a little note that says, keep up with the decluttering. And it's just that reminder to make sure that you are consistently decluttering. And I know I'm probably going to get the comments that if you declutter and you're minimal and you're not buying stuff, you should stay clutter-free. But honestly, our lives are always changing. I have kids. The season of life I'm in, there is a lot of turnover. If you are seeing the clutter build up again, it just might come down to not decluttering often enough. This tip I found really interesting and I completely agree with. Your organizational bins might be enabling the clutter habit. So if you have a lot of bins, sometimes we feel like we need to fill them and store them away, and then out of sight, out of mind, we don't even think about it anymore, but yet it's taking up a huge space in a closet or your garage and that sort of thing. So a fix for that is to try not to have so many bins. Once you declutter, actually declutter the bins that the things were being stored in, or stack them all up and hide them away and try to be intentional about only using them when you truly need it. You might have guilt clutter. This is when you purchase something, even if you had the best intentions of using it, and then you didn't end up needing it. I've shared this story before, but my oldest son tried out karate and we jumped right in. We bought all the karate stuff. It was really expensive. And then all of a sudden he decided no more karate. He didn't want to do it. We had this bag of expensive stuff that we saved in our garage for a while. And I had so much guilt wrapped around that clutter that we didn't need. I kept looking at the bag. And then finally I told myself, you know what? The money is gone. It's never coming back. And we just need to get rid of it because I feel bad every time I look at that bag of stuff. The fix was finding someone who could use it. So we went to the karate studio. We found a kid that needed these items and we donated it to that child. So I felt good about it and we got it out of our house and then there was no more guilt. Next is you are waiting for the perfect time to declutter. I always find this funny when people say that they're waiting for the perfect time. And I saw this quote that said something like, if you're waiting for the best time or the perfect time, you'll be waiting forever. And I think that is so true. So the fix on this one is just break it down into 5 minutes or 10 minutes a week or a day, whatever you can do, and just make it as easy as possible. Opening a drawer, picking out one item, and putting it in the bag to be decluttered. This tip I had never heard of before, but it makes a lot of sense. If you're too hung up on the aesthetics of things, sometimes that can cause a lot of clutter. Maybe you are redecorating a lot or you want to switch your decor around a lot, which can be really fun. And if clutter doesn't bother you, then why not? But if you are looking to declutter, this may be a place to look. And the fix for this is trying to focus on the things that are serving you right now in your home and in your life and trying to let all the other stuff go. If you need some extra help getting started decluttering or staying on track, make sure you check out my decluttering ebook, which I will link down below. Next is you may not have a vision for your space. I think this really helps with decluttering because if you have a vision of how you want things to function, it's really easy to get rid of those things that are in the way and no longer serving you. So for instance, if you want your home to feel minimal or cozy or warm, you can focus on those things. I know I get a lot of comments about my office here behind me. I love plants and color and flowers, and that's what I like to surround myself with. But as you can see, I also like to keep things clear and tidy and organized. So once you come up with your vision of your home, that will help so much with the decluttering. Getting overwhelmed by trying to declutter too much at one time. And I know that this can happen because I've had hundreds of comments throughout the years telling me that people are just so overwhelmed with decluttering. That is one of the biggest problems that people have. And I do think it's because there is some advice out there, which works for some people, to grab everything out, throw it on the floor, and then start, going through it. I personally get overwhelmed with that method, so I like to break things down into smaller categories. So for instance, if I have a bookshelf, I might just focus that day on decluttering and going through the books. If I have my closet that I want to go through, I will just focus on clothing and that's it. The other thing you could do is if that is still overwhelming, you could break it down into categories within the closet. You could focus on only shoes one day or shirts one day, pants. Breaking each section down into small categories will help avoid overwhelm. This tip is very similar to a previous one, but essentially you are rebuying things that you've already decluttered. And so you can fix this by starting a no-buy list. One thing I did way back was I decluttered a lot of the throw pillows that we had on our bed. And I have that on my no-buy list as a reminder of do not go out on a whim and purchase more pillows. We all have those shiny objects that we love. Mine was pillows. And so by having that on my no-buy list, it reminds me of the reasons why I didn't want to have a lot of throw pillows anymore, like having the pillows falling on the ground, having to constantly take them on and off the bed and all that sort of stuff. Next top tip, which I was surprised by, because it's just not my personality, but a lot of people are sentimental about absolutely everything. So anything that comes into their house, they really struggle no matter what because they become emotionally attached to the item. I have a blog post again on how to declutter sentimental items. It's just tips and tricks to help you with that. But one thing that I love from the Swedish death cleaning book is having a memory box and really limiting all the sentimental items to what can fit in that box, besides the ones that you want to keep around your house as decorations or, art on your walls and things like that. But having a box to keep photos that mean a lot to you and just items maybe from your childhood or like from my kids' childhood, if that makes sense. And the fix is just limiting that in some way. Of course, you pick the limit, so it could be several bins, it could be one bin. But what the author from Swedish Death Cleaning says is mark that as a memento box, memories, and if they're only for you, you can actually mark that box as throw away when I'm gone because nobody else would care about those items. You haven't defined your enough. We all have different limits of how much stuff we want to have in our home. Not everyone who is decluttering wants to live in a minimalist home. I think that sometimes people get that wrong, especially in videos or online, that if you're decluttering, that means you want to be minimalist. Well, I know I don't really consider myself a minimalist anymore. There was a time when I was striving for that and I'm not anymore. But what I do strive for is a clutter-free environment that's organized and easy to keep on top of. And so defining what is enough for you is a really good place to start, and that will help you to keep clutter from coming back in because you've decided you have enough stuff. You don't need to buy it anymore. You don't need to take any more free stuff because you have it. And a quick fix for this is just going through each room. You could take a picture and just decide how much stuff you want to have and limit that. I know a lot of people have said that they have a certain amount of bins for, let's say, Christmas decorations, and that's it. If they get more decorations for some reason and they can't fit them in the bins, then something must go. And I think that's a really great way to look at it and keep yourself at your current amount of stuff. Next is you could just be trying to do too much at once. You might be trying to declutter, clean, organize, and trying to do every room in one weekend. And that is a recipe for disaster. And I totally agree with this tip because I feel that it's way easier to isolate certain areas. And the fix for this, again, is just breaking it down into really small, actionable steps. And I think we all need to celebrate our wins. So when we do declutter an area and we're happy with it, I think we need to just enjoy that spot, take pictures of it, share it with your friends and family if you want, or share it with an online community. I know in the comments here, a lot of the time people will say all the things they decluttered and how happy they are about their home now. And I think that's awesome because then we can all share together in that excitement of staying clutter-free and organized in our homes. I hope you found this helpful. If you would like more information, you can check out my blog post linked down below with tons of decluttering and organizing tips. And you can click right here to watch the next video. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.